Hey, Crypto Hotep here. Just making another video. I've been a little bit a ways away from the camera since my last video uh, with the holidays, and just trying to find the best trading style. And I've altered a few things from my last video. So this is a new video that's showcasing my new strategy that's encompassing some of my old tips, old things that I did, and it's very simplistic. So, one of the things that I did was remove all contract and future type of trading. So things like futures, options, those type of things, anything with leverage, I stopped trading, and I particularly focused on individual stocks and spot crypto. Excuse me. So all my trades primarily are traded on Coinbase in terms of the crypto, Coinbase Advanced Trade. And then for the stocks, they could be, SoFi has been pretty good with filling orders and doing limit orders and those type of things. So again, very simplistic. I know, some people may roll their eyes at Coinbase, but it's been working. And I've actually had the later part of the year, October, November, and December, some of my biggest wins and consistent wins. And here we're going to break down very quickly this trade from STORJ. So STORJ is a Filecoin competitor in the crypto space for decentralized file storage. For me, it's a very good crypto with decentralized file storage, and that name plays off of that word, storage. And so one thing that I stayed true to, though, were my key levels. So we start on the weekly, and before I begin, we are still utilizing the Heikin-Ashi candles. So that has stayed. I've also incorporated the 50 EMA and the RSI. So 50 EMA, the orange line here, and then the RSI below. And my method is very simple. I go to the weekly time frame and look for areas where price has dropped dramatically and reacted to, and then I mark that out with my rectangle tool. So with STORJ, the first step was marking out the key levels. So we had key levels here at around 0.55. We had a key level here around 0.75, and then I marked out the key level, the high key level at 1.3, about 1.35, so $1.35. What intrigued me was we had a change of character here. So what I mean is, as you can see, in, I want to say November, we hit a high of past, I would say, $3.20. And then once we hit that, you can see the cascading effect down, right? So obviously lower highs, retests of key levels, break down, retest, and break down. And that followed all the way through 2022. And then at the beginning of 2023, we saw a little bit of a change in character here. And what I mean is the break of the downtrend. The downtrend was broken at this level. We retested this key level and rejected it, came back down in this area here. As you can see, attracted right to that key level again, came back down. And then this is usually, if we have 3 taps, 1, 2, you can say this is 2 and 3. I would consider this 2 just because price didn't go down to the lows yet. So 2 and then 3. On the third try, typically, not all the time, because nothing's 100%, but price will push through that key level. So it did a slight rejection, bounced off the 50 EMA, and then pushed through that key level. So once that happened, momentum kicked in on price, and so it continued. And so now we're at this key level, we're looking at 0.75 area, and that's where I got interested. So I moved into the daily time frame, and we will make this a little bit easier to see here. And with the daily time frame, things were a little bit clearer for me. So we can see price breaking the key level. It did not fully break through. So one thing that I look for when we're in an uptrend, an uptrend to me is you're breaking key resistance areas and it's flipping into support. Check here. You're above the 50 EMA considerably. Check here. And there's a lot of momentum in price. These three big green candles, you can see that. Now with 0.75, with that key level, price didn't necessarily break above it. So with me, one thing I like to see is price breaking above it and holding there for a little bit and then coming down and testing that area. Because what typically will happen is price will do this, come through, wick out above the key level, and then go back down. And that happens a lot. And that's sometimes what's called a bull trap, where everybody FOMOs in at the top here, and then the price just rejects, and then usually it comes down, as you can see here. But the funny thing about this is price didn't come down. It actually stayed in this area considerably, and I saw that. So what I was waiting for was the breakdown. So what I mean is here, similarly, price had great momentum, as you can see. Here, we'll just zoom in a little bit. Price had great momentum right here, as you can see, pushed through, but there's that wick, long wick through the key level, and then a fast rejection to the downside. That's what you're really looking for when you have key resistance levels, is price moving away from that key level in a very quick fashion. Here, didn't happen. Price actually stayed in a accumulation phase here, where it didn't break to the downside, but it didn't also break to the upside. So it's kind of like a little bit of indecisiveness. So I saw this and I got hopeful that price would continue to the upside, because it can happen, but it's very rare that a price will continuously stay in an area without a full breakdown, because of my last statement about, price usually wicking through and then falling away considerably from the level. So what I did think would happen is, typically when you have an accumulation of price, there's usually a big move up or down. So because I'm still, my bias is still bullish, I figured that the pattern that potentially would happen would be the power of three, or the box setup. And the box setup is basically three boxes, as you can see here, or power three, whatever you want to call it. And it's the accumulation phase, which is right here, the manipulation phase, which is right here, and then the distribution phase, which is right here. And basically the thought about this is price is accumulating, where you're getting all these orders. You're getting orders from the buyers and the sellers, because there's a lot of indecisiveness. And then what happens is price then drops to the downside and is manipulated, so it's cheaper, which essentially would knock out all those long buyers here and take out all their stop loss orders. But essentially it would then reverse and then go back to where it should go, right here. And that's what happened. So we had price accumulate, we had manipulation to the 50 EMA, bounced off to the 50 EMA, and then actually hit my target. And what's funny is with this target is I'm very conservative with my TP targets, with my take profit targets. And typically my take profit targets are below a key level, because sometimes price is weird and it plays games, and it will get so close to your level, but it won't wick it. And so so what I did to get this level is I looked back at previous data, and I scrolled back here, and I noticed that a common area right here was around that 121 area. I saw price attract to that several times, and that was a good psychological level too that I thought price could go to. And so I did set a sell limit order, and that's typically what my strategy is for my spot trades, is setting that set limit order, getting that target, and being happy with the results. And honestly, this was this was one of my biggest trades, and a very good trade at that, at around 60%. And you know, it's funny because in crypto you can get these 60, 70, 80% trades, but you also have to remember that if your trade is going 50, 60, 70, 80, 90%, there's going to be a correction, and that correction will be massive. And as you can see, once it hit that mark, once it hit price, not only did it pull back, but it went through this daily support. The oval shaped circles are my daily support that I draw. So you can see this was support from flipped resistance. So you can see resistance, resistance, and then it broke through. What I thought would happen is we wick out here, come back, retest, and then try to sweep this area. But you know, that move was so great from STORJ that it completely just broke through daily support. And right now it actually broke through that 0.75 level, tapped into the the 52, 53 or 55 cents level, and then currently it's sitting in the middle. I call it no man's land right here, but it is below that 50 EMA. So I'm not really doing anything with STORJ right now. I'm just watching this, but you'll see my receipts here of the orders of the buy and sell if you want to see those. But all in all, very good trade. This was very stress-free because, again, I'm holding those spot bags of crypto versus selling the contract. So I'm actually holding that crypto. And what's good is I know about STORJ's mission. I know about what they can bring to the blockchain, and I believe in it as well. So me holding this trade until this point was fine for me. It wasn't very stressful. Now, if I was in a contract trade, I'd probably be stressed out. I'd probably also would be stopped out of this trade as well, just with my stop loss with the futures contracts. But all in all, very good trade. Even though I didn't buy at the bottom, you know, the place I bought was just fine for me at that 0.75 price. And yeah, all in all, good trade. I'm going to try to do more of these, try to keep them under 10 minutes if I can. But again, these are my own thoughts to myself, and I try to keep myself honest with my strategy. And if you do find these videos helpful, feel free to like, subscribe. Let me know what you want me to cover or analyze in terms of charts, and happy trading.